Well, we've just finished up turn number 20, and I believe that this is going to be an Allied victory. There's nothing I can see the Axis can do to prevent it. Basically, a double envelopment has taken place here. Germans still hold this location. They abandoned this city. They still hold this city, and it's very strong. However, it's going to be put out of supply in one more movement phase unless they move somebody out of there. Right now, it's still in supply, but just barely. You can't form a Zoc bond with the coast like you can in Normandy 44. The big breakthrough happened when I used 7th Armored to attack here, and they rolled high. The British rolled a 6, got across the river, got a breakthrough movement, and killed the Nebelwerfers for a victory point. But then they lost the victory point when those were rebuilt. But the key thing was he got across the river and just basically, they've just cleaned out this whole sector. I didn't get hasty and run them off the map. I just tried to apply a Zoc into the hexes bordering that entry area so that units that are in the entry area cannot enter into a Zoc location. So they can only enter here, 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 or here, or here right now. So that's pretty much locked down. So they're going to get 5 points for that, and there's nothing the Germans can do to prevent it. They just don't have the strength. They try to launch one, desperate attack by bringing in the Hermann Goering tanks, which I had pulled out of the line to try to. I was hoping that my guys would hold one more turn, but the whole line just kind of came apart. So that's a pipe dream. That's just not going to happen. So over here, the Germans held this hex and had a whole line of Zoc bonds set up, and it all just kind of came undone. The Americans rolled a 1 in combat, but it was still enough to get a retreat. And despite the use of artillery and desperate defense, it was not enough to keep that stack from retreating into the entry area. And now there's nothing to prevent them from jumping off and getting another 4 victory points. So that is game, set, and match right there. So that's 9 points right there between those two. And we don't even have to worry about Avellino. This city did fall, just the overwhelming weight of firepower. The one thing I didn't mention, we were coming up on a weather phase, and in the weather phase on turn 19, the die roll was a 6, so we never even had rain. It flipped right around to good weather, and then on turn 20, the die roll was a 1, so it stayed there, and so the weather was very, very favorable to the Allies. I think there's only 2 turns of rain in this entire game, so that's I think a big contributing factor to how the Allies are going to win with 1 turn to spare. So things could have easily gone the other way. The game was extremely tense in the last, I'd say, 6-7 turns. Just every move, every combat just seemed like it had so much weighing on it. And the thing I really like about this particular game overall is how you get a sense in a microcosm of the entirety of the Italian campaign. This is just one slice of Italy in 1943-44, but you get a sense of, gee, we have all this firepower, but so is the enemy. It's hard to get them out of positions. The terrain is unfavorable. You have these tanks, but you can't really use them the way you want to. And that's something you really get packaged up here in a very playable Salerno 43 by GMT Games. So definitely had a lot of fun with this one. Looking forward to maybe trying out something from C3I, or I just got a new one from GMT, a new design from Volco that I don't know how to pronounce yet. So we'll take a look at that in a couple videos.